As someone who's been playing Skyblock for a very, very long time. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I have been playing since release on another account, but I sadly lost information to it. But with that time, I've experimented with different money-making methods and I know my fair share. So today, I'm going to share them with you and the requirements. Before we get into this video, I'd just like to thank you guys for hitting 1,000 views on our first video. That's honestly insane. This is a huge morale boost and it gives me even more reasons to not touch grass. If you guys could like and comment, that'd mean the world. So without further ado, let's get into this video. For our first money-making method, we have mining. Mining is probably one of the most consistent money-making methods Hypixel Skyblock has ever seen. It's the best money-making method due to it being very reliable and consistent. Now anyways, let's get into the pros and cons. Pros, it can make you a huge amount of coins. Cons, it's very boring and repetitive. Pros, it's one of the better money-making methods. Cons, it costs a lot with 300 million coins for armadillo mining and about 400 million for ruby and such. Not to mention, it also takes about 50 hours of powder grinding depending on how much you play. With all that said, I'm going to rate it a 7 out of 10. I do think it's the best method in the game due to its high results and consistency, but the setup is so crazy expensive and time consuming, but if it wasn't for that, I'd give it a 10. For the second method, we have Heartstone mining. Heartstone mining, while not being the best, the main focus of it is you can gain powder for gemstone mining. This is an early game method making you about 3 to 5 mil per hour and does not require a huge setup. And you might be thinking, actually, when I did sludge mining, I only made like 2 mil. Well, it's because you're stupid. You might see these and just throw them into your junk pile, but you can actually sell them for up to 5 million per stack. So make sure you sell almost everything you get. Anyways, let's get into the pros and cons. For our first pro, it's a great way to lead in a gemstone mining. If you are in it for the powder though, I would recommend doing it on 2x powder to spare some brain cells. For our second pro, we have that's great for Iron Man. Iron Man players require a lot of things given by Heartstone mining, aka sludge and robot parts. If you dream of getting that Devon drill, you're gonna need to drop an alloy, and killing robots is no fun. So you might as well merge getting robot parts and powder grinding together. Then there's sludge. If you want a full Devon set and enough for a titanium X655 drill, then you're gonna need 5 double chests full of sludge juice, and that saves a lot of sludge genocide. And I mean a lot. 1,700 full-grown sludge is a lot. Another pro is that there's really a very cheap setup. If you search up how to insta-mine Heartstone, you can start doing this for under 3 mil. And for our first and only con is that it's not the best for coins. But to be fair, starting off 3 to 5 million coins per hour will still be enough to get that good early game gear. I'm going to rate this an 8 out of 10. Obviously, it's not even close to gemstone mining, but if you're starting off, you can get this going for basically nothing, and it has a lot of benefits. For our third method, we'll be talking about updates and events. If you're confused what I mean, no, I do not mean Speaker Festival or Jerry's Workshop. I'm talking about special events such as things like special mayors. How this method works is if an update comes out, you'll spend the first day finding the most profitable way of making money. This means seeing which items will be used in crafts because they'll normally be the most profitable. During these times, you can normally make an insane amount of money. For example, when the Crimson Isle first released, people were making over 100 million per day farming mycelium, or when the farming update released and crappies were selling for hundreds of thousands of coins, and then 2 days later, they went for a measly few thousand. When abusing a mayor, it means taking advantage of your situation. The best example for this is Derpy. During Mayor Derpy, the auction house is not available, so you can lowball for insanely good deals. That means you gotta have a nice sized purse. Another good thing to do is minions, whether that means buying and reselling minion fuels and such, or just taking advantage of his 2x minion drops for your collections. Anyways, let's get to the pros and cons. Starting off with our first con is that the methods normally don't last very long. This is due to YouTubers making videos on all the good methods and normally causes the prices to go down drastically. And with our second con is that these are normally very occasional methods. Due to lack of updates and only Jerry and Derpy really being profitable, it's very occasional that you get to use this very often. And for a final con, depending on the update, you have to spend a lot to make a lot. When these updates first drop, the items you use due to these methods will normally cost a lot, and that normally isn't much of a problem, but it can cause some of these newer players to not be able to take advantage of the methods. And for the only pro on the list, it's a really good money-making method. Don't get me wrong, it's insanely good, but due to how scarce it is and how it never comes, I have to give it a 6. If it came about twice as more, it'd honestly be like a 9, but just because you can barely ever take advantage of some of these methods, it just doesn't earn itself a higher ranking. Final method, it's actually 3 methods, but I think it's appropriate to put them together due to them being so similar. This is bazaar flipping, auction flipping, and lowballing. Bazaar flipping is a way of buying items in a way where you can sell them for more than you bought it. Auction flipping is where you snipe items on the auction house for cheaper than you can sell it for, and lowballing is where the players sell their auctionable items directly to you for cheaper than market price. And now without further ado, let's get into the pros and cons. For our first pro, you can start whenever. This is one of the money-making methods where you can just kind of load in, get a few coins, and then immediately get into it. It's very progressible, so you can really do this throughout all the stages of the games. You just gotta be really smart about it. Just like the pros, there are 2 cons, and those are that it's a bit of a gamble and you need a brain. Obviously, everybody has a brain, but if you go into no knowledge of the game, you're probably going to lose all your coins. So you got to be smart about what you do and kind of do your research. When lowballing, make sure you aren't getting scammed. People like to mark and manipulate items. If you want some more information, I made a video about lowballing if you want to go check that out. I hope you guys liked the video. If you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It boosts the algorithm a lot and it would really help me out. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video.